I tend my garden. I press and groom the soil. A dampness attaches to the pads of my fingers. I run my fingers over and over. I prefer my fingers to the shovel or the blade, though I've already tenderized this spot with the blade. Then I sink my fingers, digging and clawing, but it shouldn't even be that deep. I'm taken away by the penetration, by the ground falling away to the pressure, looking for ground again. And then there it is. It's solidified, it's rallied against me, and my fingers are sticky with cold black pulp. I lay the seed. The seed bag was against my knee, magnolia seeds. I'll have a garden of magnolias and lilies and columbines. It's a tall garden, sparks, a square. I press there I see the soil, furrow, a damp esophageal flower, pads of my hot fingers. Air. Here I run my fingers. Must be full. It's warm inside. When I'm full, and I twist like guts, I'm still full, and I churn hot. I'll always be full. Pressing, down, clinging, holding, just stay full. I tend my garden. I bloom, I press and groom the soil. I can dampness attaches to the rear back of my fingers. Prepare the next spot. I run my fingers. This time, I'll just use the blade. But I like to feel the giving, the emptying. I like it on my hands, as if frolicking in the mud naked, as if I was just drawing lines and pockets with sticks. I prefer my fingers to the shovel or the blade. Over and over. Though I've already tenderized this until I am full. The blade. Then I sink my fingers, by the ground falling away to the pressure. But it shouldn't be that deep. I'm taken away by the penetration. But I'll get carried away. I'll take it only on the tongue. I have to fill this garden, so I'll dig my next hole. Weighted, I below contained, me, stretching, I melting, I am where full. I am full. The burning, walls, straining, by the sliding, I demand to be full. He devours his breakfast. Mama pats him on the back. The kitchen is filled with the steam of bacon. He leaves with 2 pails, slurping. The first is for the chicken with the hot air. He gathers the eggs. Will they demand to be full? He moves with the further delicacy of a master. I live, he sorted these eggs. Day after day, for years, I stand full. His father says it's been since he could sliding and colliding. All that time, he's broken his back. The young man doesn't remember. His back is below me, stretching to the skin. I am full. The walls straining. The second pail I demand for the cow to be full. Her bell rings. Further, the air is slither light as I live full. Is she in the field grazing? The bell stops ringing. And the giddiness transforms. Who can resist a taste from the plasma? It's the reward. I'm already full. All right. But this day is not like always the task finishes. As the young man gets out butter shade of the shed, but he sees his father collapse. I strain and realize. Father, he shouts, rushing over to him. It's a real cat's face. It's a dance. A crowning head curled on the lap. Exploding. Our kitten pushes him. I'm crowned full. The milk keeps gushing. Vaporous and sinking, tugs at his overalls. His hands are doused in his shoulders. He trembles. The radiance of his father's stream. Returning to I'm a ghostly touch. From inside the house, vibrations wail. I have to be touching to find his mother. I straight inhale. The beetle rise. I'm home, standing in the kitchen, and it's upside down already. Its legs to ignore the smell in the morning bacon. I'm home, drowning, and the toast on the kitchen as he now rushes down to the effects of poison on a bug's body. It spins in place, a single stray leg stupidly pumping on the tile floor, though it is difficult to see its legs against its shadow. The kitchen light has only one working bulb, and it smushes the beetle into the ground. A bitter spike runs through my mouth. I'm thinking about poison, but I keep chewing. I'm eating corn chips. I'm on the 5th. And I grab another from the bag, holding my hand inside, covetously. For a moment, I see myself, a beast, cowering, crazed, filthy, and then I see the beetle again. I laid a round of poison last week, doused every entryway, cursed every intruder. I keep watching the beetle paddle. It's bitter, but it was cursed. I'm seeing it cursed. I'm seeing my poison. Keep me full. Hot air. I must be full. It's warm inside. She's gurgling now. When I'm full, and I son, like guts. I'm having a heart attack now. Still full. Just like your father. Oh my. I'll always. And then she stops speaking, pressing down, holding, clinging. Just stay full. Her body is shivering violently, and his teeth are clenched. He notices the pain I can across his jaw and down his neck. He's trying to move, to pull her closer to his chest, or even to push her aside with and to pound her chest until I am full. Waited and sink. He keeps imagining her on the ground as he beats her chest, burning both paws, sliding and delighting. He'll make it beat again. I think full. Is that what's happening? Stretching. Her heart's not beating. Suddenly he's confused again, and he tries to feel something in his the walls straining. I demand to be full. Keep further full, but all he feels is a steadily slowing running of her apron is warm against his. When I'm full, and I twist like guts. Her rusty pain is melting, and I swear I am full. I'll always trace farts. She inhales sharp seed. He feels it scrape. Early morning, and I watch the soil patch. I'm drumming my fingers on my knee, and I imagine the roiling seed. It's full inside, compact in its shell. It's eating. I want it to spin, to see the dirt masticate with the seed. It'll wave and bubble, threatening to fall into itself. I want to see the bulb burst forth, with the force, an explosion of digestion. The whole revealed in that fulfillment, the empty and porous, all those holes I dug, all my penetrations, the inky pulp in my hands, shows itself when that porosity blooms. The seed hasn't finished digesting. It's still stuck and gnawing on itself, and the ground is still. I'll sit for a while longer. It's too early for the intensity of the sun to blind me. In the glancing light, the soil is sharp, visible. It's like I absorb it at once. I'm clenching my teeth, and the pressure is building around my neck. In the back of his throat, holding. She stutters at the peak of the inhale, and his throat is triply scraped, and then she stops moving. I become full. Weighted, I sink. Clenched. I yearn to be full. I was bitten yesterday by a mosquito, and the pressure and the tightening of my skin irritates the bite. There, that inverted burrow comes out to me. It paces about. Weightless, burning, I sink. By the sliding, I will be colliding. But this day is not like the others. I'm already. As soon as he steps out from the shade of the shed, he'll make his father collapse on the steps. Below me is stretching. I further will it slither. The walls I stand. Father, he shouts. I demand rushing me full. The old cat's face. As he's sliding fast, body curling closer to his chest. Our kitten pushes him. Cap tugs at his withdrawals and shakes his shoulder. Suddenly he's crossing the jaw, tickles himself, tries to explode. From inside the house, he hears wails. She inhales sharply through the door to find his mother scrape in the back of his throat. She stutters at the peak of the smell of the morning bacon, and his throat is triply scraped, and then on the table, aching as he now rushes to his mother's side. Gurgling petals, late end, is that what's happening? Oh, son, I'm having a heart attack now. Just like your father, imagining her on the ground as he beats her chest. She stops, claws clenched. Her body is shivering violently, even to push her aside, and his teeth are clenched. He notices the pot boils over with a gurgle. The lid waves and flops for a moment with the exhale. Then it's stable, still again. My back is against the fridge. I want to lick my spoon, which is still smeared with residue. I emptied a can of beans into the sink, and there the dull crimson juice rests against the spoon's edge, unmoving, like jam, like sludge, like embryonal fluid for beans. And behind the spoon, I see the beetle. My eyes always drift to this back door, out the kitchen, the dead spot, especially without sunlight to flash the curtains, which curl on the floor. And just before the curtains, like it descended, the beetle's there. Since I started the stove, it's begun kicking again, as if thawed. I want to hear the legs creak. In the drama of its first death, it spasmed and crawled. Not very far, but it slid along the floor, clawing, choking for life. And now it's reanimated. This is the encore. But its pitiful stretches look like the mourning groanings of grogginess. The poison from before was just cornstarch and food coloring. Looking past my spoon, the residue still in stasis, I don't want to lick it. This one really was just sleeping. The first stalk broke through. I missed the burst. I want it to radiate this morning, but it doesn't. I crouch and begin pouring more water. It's boiling droplets. It's always slurped up. Full. So thirsty, so insatiable. So I pour more water. The radiance is steam. My garden should be full. I'm made full. Each time the puddles disappear, I feel my own saliva, the wet on wet of my tongue, and the bubbles heavy and rising. Inside. I achieve full. Each time the vacuous of my guts, I push my tongue against my teeth. I realize full. And the liquid bursts. It scatters, and I feel the dryness of my tongue against my teeth. Inside, they're smooth. They're nice. Grant full. But the bottom edges are with nothing. I run along them and notice vaporous and sinking, bumpy like my arm, and the mosquito bites strung along it. I press my tongue harder into my tooth's edge. Taut but trembling, I sweep around the beetle. I gauge full. It's still contained, a ghostly touch, but melting. I claim a few where I flakes in my dustpan. I have to trace sparks. It does there I see full. It glistens only the esophageal flowering. I wait for my lip here. I immerse a taste from the head gets the reward. A pinch of pressure gathers above, and there unfurling my garden, and then when my fingers sputter and overstream I petals, I can't laden, but this day is not like the other. As soon as he steps out from my garden, down, I press seizes all my steps, all my penetration. Father, I rush my wet no over the old cat's face. I'm already in my dirt. A gurgling barks, and then always my son pushes. I'm having a heart attack that is over, just like your father shakes his shoulder. My fingers, but only take a roundabout stray, burning. I ask to ignore the smell. I tend my chest, and the toes crowning head now run slowly. I x-ray legs, vacuum from inside the house. I run my fingers. I can sweep it boiling droplets. Her body is shivering. Throw it away. I keep chewing. The radiant is rising. He notices I achieve I can't even taste the bitterness of its stinking corpse. The foulness that makes my lip for a moment I see myself, so it must not be dead, beast, cowering, crazed, doused, filthy, cursed. I'm imagining its digested body. He keeps imagining her on the ground. My fingers, her chest, shovel, the whole revealed the Nile fulfillment, the empty and porous, and then it remains full. No early morning, all those holes I for a while longer. All my penetration too early for I brush them for shows itself in the ground. I realize a ghost has been but all it feels by rain slowing the whole I've watered everything around me in the forest, and now I run my fingers through the mud, and I gather strands of vegetation. Their noodles inflames his mosquito bites. I lay the seed, their worms wrapped around me. The seed bag was against my knee, magnolia seed. And the faster I drag, my garden only hangs more limply from me. And his throat is triply scraped. Worms be eaten. He feels it scrape in the glancing worming. I'm watching it. I was bitten yesterday. The beetle I have only a few my skin flames his mosquito bites, and then she stops there. My foot hovers above it. Rustling. I press this time. I'll just. And there's how many times my pot I like to giving. I want to know. In the second pail, I like it on my hand. Her bells ring, frolicking in the air. Is so delightful. She feels the scraping line. Is she in the field? She stutters at the perfect stillness now. But I'll get carried away. I tend my garden. I'll take it full. Press and it'll squirt. I'll fill this mosquito bites. I'll take my but it can't. The young man gets on his knees. I run my scratch pail over her udder, and there's too much little hair to see the dirt, plastic, hazy grass. I prefer my fingers always shoveled, pulling and squeezing. I'm home. I've already seen nails sharp to the dent, and it's upside down scrape in the back of his fingers. The cow stutters at the peak of his tail, and his throat is the milk straight gushy, and then she stops and take it away. I'm home. His hands are boiling drop. I tend my garden. He ponders poison press his legs kick. The radiance turns his face. I'm made and and then heavy, maybe it is solidified. I achieve, and there's too much my fingers sticky with cold. Who can resist a vaporize? Scatter the seed. It's more. The seed bag was alright. Inside, he inhales sharply. He feels it scrape in the back. I'll have a guard butter. She stutters in the peak, exploding with nothing. There's too much grape. I'm small garden. I swear. I have only a few furrows. I rear back. I tend my garden. He inhales sharply. He feels it scrape in the back of the chest. But I keep stutters, but I like it to inhale. I run my fingers. I like it on my hands, holding my hands as if frolicking in the mud. Naked. As if I was just drawing my garden. For a moment, I press myself. I say soil. Cowering. I say I press take it easily on the soil. I run my fingers to fill this garden, and then it does. I'll dig my next around. I run my fingers over and douse every inch. He devours his breakfast extended to the shovel or the blade. Mama pats I tend my garden. The beat the kitchen press. I've already. I keep watching, standing in the kitchen. The first, I run my chicken. I keep watching the kitchen. It's bitter. Will they crack and take it away? I prefer my fingers. I'm home. Standing in the kitchen, though I've already turned around it again. He's sorted these eggs. His legs kick day after day. I sink my fingers here, digging. And father says there it has been since he could walk. Early morning, all that time taken away from your back. I'm drumming my fingers and falling away. I imagine I lay the seed. The young man does the bag inside his back, packed straight shell, flaccid skin ripping. And then there in the can of beans, I see little dirt. And there, the dull kitchen where my fingers are sticky with cold. The second pail is for the cow. I lay the seed ram. The seed bag. The air is so delighted. Wanting to know bitter spike. Is she in the field with razor? I'll have a garden with perfect stillness. But I keep chewing. I'm eating bells. I'm on the fifth. And the giddiness. The holes are revealed and the lid waves. I want a dead spot with the extra. The young man gets on for a moment. All my concentration beats back as the cow rares. I want to show himself. And then I see the empty and porous. All the seed has it finished digestion. I'll sit around poison gnawing on itself. I empty the two down every instrument. The whole reveal the milk crimson, the empty porous every inch. All those in the glancing light, hands are soiled and sharp. I keep watching people. It's like I empty the bitter show itself, clenching my teeth. Drum up first and keep crouching and begin to paddle. It's always bitter. It's slurped so thirsty, so I pour some water. I'll fill it up. My garden should be full.